Imagine building a company worth almost $10 billion before most people had even heard its name. That sounds impossible. But in 2025, a tiny startup called Anysphere did exactly that. And the strangest part? It wasn't selling rockets, cars, or some revolutionary piece of hardware. Its product was basically a smarter code editor. So how did four founders turn that simple idea into one of the fastest-growing startups in the world? The story starts with a problem that programmers already knew painfully well. Writing software takes enormous amounts of time. Developers constantly jump between files, search for errors, write repetitive code, and try to explain to computers exactly what they want. Then, artificial intelligence changed the game. Anysphere was founded in 2022 by a group of MIT students, including Michael Truel, Aman Sanger, Arvid Lunemark, and Swaleh Asif. Their product, Cursor, was an AI-powered coding environment designed to let developers work with software almost like they were talking to a colleague. But here's where things get interesting. The founders weren't trying to beat every giant technology company at once. They focused on one group, developers, and that focus mattered. Instead of building another flashy AI chatbot, Cursor solved a painful problem for people who were already willing to pay for better tools. Then users started spreading it. Cursor became popular because it could understand large code bases, suggest changes, answer coding questions, and help developers build software faster. The product was so useful that major technology companies, including Stripe, OpenAI, and Spotify, became users. And then the numbers went crazy. By early 2025, Anysphere was valued at about $2.5 billion. Just months later, investors poured another $900 million into the company. Its valuation jumped to $9.9 billion. That's nearly 4 times higher in roughly 5 months. But here's the twist. The company wasn't worth $9.9 billion because someone discovered billions of dollars sitting in its bank account. That number represented what investors believed the company could become. And they had a reason to believe. Anysphere said its annualized revenue had passed $500 million, while reports indicated that revenue was growing at an extraordinary rate. This reveals something important about modern startups. Investors aren't always paying for what a company is today. They're paying for what they think it could dominate tomorrow. And that creates 3 powerful lessons. First, solve an expensive problem, not just an interesting one. Second, focus can beat size. Anysphere didn't need to build the biggest AI model. It built a product people actually wanted to use. And third, speed creates opportunity. When technology changes quickly, the company that finds the best use for it can grow incredibly fast. But there's one final warning. A billion-dollar valuation is not the same thing as $1 billion in profit. Anysphere's explosive rise shows how quickly opportunity can appear, but also how quickly expectations can become enormous. So the startup that seemed to become worth billions almost overnight wasn't really an overnight success. It was a product, a market, and a wave of technology colliding at exactly the right moment. And sometimes, that's all it takes to turn a tiny startup into a giant.